Welcome back to the GLAC Studios oil painting tutorial. I'm Gomati Sivasankaran. We are in class 8 of the Vidya Lakshmi painting, one of the 8 forms of Lakshmi avatars that are known for all the positive propensities of life. And Vidya refers to knowledge. The goddess of knowledge is right here with us, and we are working on her layer 4 right now. We have gone through layers 1, 2, 3, and 4 really coming to a completion. What is now pending is the jewelry and a little bit of adjustment to the background as well. But before we get started about this class, I wanted to share with you that the jewelry references that I'm going to be using are available in the description. And when you open up this Word document, you will find references of jewelry from various other cultures. Also, this is because it is one of the 8 paintings that I'm making of Lakshmi images. I'm using references of girl images from 8 different countries. So there is 8 different culture related pictures that I could pick up. Also, be mindful that I picked up all these out of my choice, so it doesn't mean that it should be restricted to that. You can pick up something on your own as well. I have nothing to own with respect to the jewelries that are there. I have just picked up really beautiful jewelries from all the jewelry brands that I could find, ancient jewelry that I could find history about in when I searched Google. And also, it's all the jewelry companies. I think you can also find their brand name somewhere in the picture, sometimes some of the pictures. And also, Etsy and such institutions that promote jewelry. So there's a lot that I have picked up from Google and Shutterstock and all the image companies. So thanks to all of them, you can go about picking up your own range of pictures for this and can work on it. The benefit is that with this painting we have a lot of white base already, so it's easier for you to build in new jewelry if you want as well. Even otherwise you could. What I have thought of when I looked at all those images and such, the Middle Eastern jewelry that I really liked, I have put up there. And I'm going to use the jewelry that she also has in this picture. The girl has a kind of jewelry in her hair that I liked. I would like to have a combination of that, and I decided that I will let go of this, huge crown that I had built up in this space. So I'll correct it also along the line. If you are preferring to watch me first as to how I'm doing things and then move on to do this class yourself, that is also a good idea. You can do along with me because I'm not actually copying from any of those references. I'm taking those references as nodal points and taking inspiration and trying to do something here, modifying it. Why am I modifying? First of all, to simplify things. Yeah, that's obvious, I guess. Another thing is that most of the jewelry pieces that I picked up, I think, are ones for women, grown women. Except for in this case, I found a picture of a girl wearing some Middle Eastern jewelry, so that looks like it's appropriate for a girl child. Rest of it, most of the jewelry pieces that I could find were really for women. So I had to really search and pick up the ones, and also with the references I decided to snowball it down to what is appropriate rather than take it the way it is. So I did that, and in other images as well. So I'm going to do the same here in this image as well. So let's get on with that work. For the jewelry images, when you look at the Middle Eastern jewelry. You see the girl child with a nice headpiece. I like that. I think it is common here that the jewelries look like coins, and the circles, and then they are like floral thing that is done around that. I see that uniformity in the head jewelry and also the one that is in the hand jewelry next to it. And then I saw another pattern. The next jewelry piece that's there, with the ear and the necklace set. You see that that's also following the same thing, like a flower circles around the main circle. And also, there's one I really liked that felt inspiring. That the small dollars that are falling from that piece seem to be having like sun. Those strokes are going around like a sun's light or something like that, and that was so inspiring. I think I will take inspiration from all these to create something here. Let's see how far that goes. My canvas is wet from the previous session, so I know that things will mix up a little bit. I'm not worried about it. I try to create the images the way I can, whatever I can, and then leave the rest to dry. Then in the layer 5, we can improvise on it as long as we are able to finalize, at least at the idea level, what the jewelries are going to be. With all that as introduction, I think I should get on with the actual work here. So what I'm going to do is to kickstart with the jewelry creation. I am going to take some white, titanium white, and have it ready. And also for the gold color, I want to have yellow ochre and permanent yellow mixed and ready. So I'm taking a little bit of titanium white ready here. Yellow ochre is right here. And then I will add primary or permanent yellow to that, which is also here in my palette, so I don't need to take it. So I'm going to start first with making the patterns in the hands. The hand jewelry, I think it was clear to see that it had those nice little dots with circular, floral arrangement there. So I'm going to okay, I think I need to mix colors here, taking a bit of yellow ochre and permanent yellow, mixing it. First of all, I'm making some dots for those circles. In the hands, so I'm working on the bangles, only creating the dots first. And I want to do that also in the arm of the girl, where we have the shirt coming to a close. I want to use that also. So I'm using a zero brush, a 000 brush possibly. Yes, that's one I'm using. Okay, it fits well because that's the color range that we had used initially in the, in this picture when we did the layer 3. Spacing for the bangles and spacing for all the jewelry, I think we did with the same color, so it works. So that was the dot. And right now I'm going to move to a micro brush to take burnt umber, mix it a little bit with this brown or yellow ochre gold. So it is slightly lighter, but then it's still burnt umber. And I think that will help in creating the small little circles or images around that will be giving a feel of, yeah. And the best thing is we can work on the hand, um, where we have already finalized the layer for detailing for the hand and such, but the sides will be a slight bit of a challenge, so I'm just leaving it like that. So we're creating the image and creating that idea that it is got those small little circles around. Um, Minor details, but they do matter in showing the, cultural aspect of it. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. So it's coming up okay, but I don't see much of, the flower shape the way you see it in that thing yet, because it's still too young. I think we will work on it in the layer uh, 5 also to see if we can show more of that shape. See how far we go with it, yeah? So, okay, I'm finished with these three areas, the three things. Now I'm moving with the rest of it. So I'm just creating those small little circles there. Micro brush. So I have toned down the burnt umber a little bit so it doesn't look totally strong. Um, yeah, and using this color that we just mixed for the gold jewellery. Yes. I think it's the crown that's going to take a little more of work than the other ones. And then, of course, once we are done with that, the background adjustment will come up. Okay, I have managed this. The last, not the least. Okay, suggestively creating those small little circles around, semicircles around to give it a feel. For the neck jewelry, so I'm not going to do all that A lot of work is there in that jewellery piece that I saw. I'm going to take only a bit of it, which means I'm going to take, going back to the brush that is zero, doing the bigger circle first here, and then doing two more, three more circles on the sides. This looks cool. Okay, I think this circle could go on, be like that, and don't do too much of those, um, rings. We will take the sun ray idea and start building lines that are going across like this. Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit more of the burnt umber to play with it. So, yes. Yeah. So that sun ray idea is cool. I want to do that for each of the circle. Mm. The last one goes there. So there is a couple of rings that I have made here that I will work on creating those rays. Done. The flower to come back here. This time I'm going to leave because it was the small little, yeah, the small little circles on the bangle is a little difficult to give a lot of detailing, but we can use that here in the centerpiece and make the flower go right. Let's do that. Okay. So I'm doing the centerpieces circle there. One, two, three. I'm making those little flowers and going around that circle. Mhm. Yes. Yes. So that was the circle with the flower shape, and I'm going to do that also here. A smaller one, another smaller one. So let's see how far we go with smaller circles here. These are pretty flower shapes, and I am not aiming to do any three-dimensional images right now because this pattern that I are trying to follow and trying to adapt here. So I'm just focusing on doing that first, and in the next layer we can see how far we could do some highlights or depth and such in this jewelry if needed, wherever needed. Mhm. We need a steady hand for all these shapes. Um, I'm actually resting my elbow on my thigh, and that's where I find the steadiness. If you are not able to find the steady spacing, I think it is also a good idea to take a wooden piece or something to put on top so you can rest your hand somewhere. It's really important that you rest your hand somewhere. Using the circles to go around also in the hip area, very close to that section where it is coming to a close there. I think I need another brush to clean one possibly to take up a tiny bit of white and fill in the sections that are not needed anymore. Hmm. I think we managed fine. She looks serene with all this jewelry still. That's important. And yeah, cool. So we move on to working on the jewelry in her ear, and I think I will go with that same neck piece idea. That is like a sunbeam. You cannot see much of it because the background is black, but I think when we work on the next layer, we can make sure that we give some white highlights or something to accentuate that, even further. I think she looks fairly, in a good image. And now for the headpiece, that's exactly where the challenge is. I like this floral headpiece on her head, but also we have this piece to work on. So I'm imagining having this from her reference image to first settle out. Okay, for this, I'm going to take a bit of titanium white and blend it with the golden color that we had created. So it's really lighter, but it is not white, and it helps us work on this image. So I am doing first of all the pearls that are in the bottom. So I can imagine that there are nice spots, dots we keep. We go ahead keeping like a U. Go ahead and build that even further. And this piece, the headpiece, has got a head image that is like a oval shape, but that is followed by a leaf kind of a thing there. Yeah, not too much of a work, but it still, gives an image of something there in her hair. Yeah. And then if we look at those floral pieces, we could build on those floral pieces around her head here. First, I'm just placing some dots. Taking it all the way to the piece that is there here. And then I will imagine that these flower pieces have those curves. So in between you can see the hair also. Good. So that is the starting of this, but I want the image to have, it shouldn't have this big thing. It's really taking too much away. Yeah. So if that's going to be the case, then we will have what kind of headpiece do we create? Hmm. I like the idea of the sun there, so I'm just going to build on this. The sun designs that we picked up for the neck piece can be built in another angle here. We're going to do that, just that here. So let me say, I'm going to just make this the base. Settling down on her head using this design, and then that should be the sunbeams. A bigger one, coming out like sunbeams. and then smaller circles around. I think that should be the end of it and not going more than that. Huh? So it is reflecting a Middle Eastern design, but not going totally far too high there. Huh? And we can change the color of the sunbeams or change this, once we are uh, through the layer 5, we can play around with this as well. Yeah. So sunbeams again, going around like this. Mhm. Cool. I think that is a good headpiece to stop with. We can highlight it with another color the moment we are done with the background. Using burnt umber, we can highlight things also. But we need to knock off the unwanted space. That's when we are able to see it clearly and also see if there is anything we could do further to this as well. Because it is really disrupting our view. So I'm going to right now go back and build this yellow color. Mhm. And this yellow is possibly a lighter yellow. So I'm taking titanium white and a bit of permanent yellow to mix and bring it down to a color that is not too bright, but it is, on a softer zone yellow, like this. That will settle down, but it is almost close to what we have designed here, so we need to rework on the design a little bit the moment we are done with this. Knocking off the space now. This will help knock off the unwanted space and also create the image correctly. Yes. And we could do one more thing. Making this circle go slightly bigger so it knocks off maximum of this element here. Mhm. I'm looking at how I can knock off the entire yeah, yes, I can. I'm tracing the possibility here. So, okay, there is a way I could knock off the entire design of the earlier, the crown that we created. Hide it completely. So that's possible. Good. But before that, we need to work on um, including this color or pushing it inside those small little spaces in between the hands and such, the flower and such. So there's a lot of work here. So I am going to take a little more of mm, oil, linseed oil, cold pressed linseed oil, and mix it and have it little more fluid, ready to go around some of the small little spaces here. Like this one, for example. So I want to check how it goes. Yes, fine. I think it looks fine. It can be used to blend in nicely, and it can be used to hide what is there. That's a good one. Previous color. So I'm going to take the smaller brush, micro brush, to do the contours that are very close to all these sensitive areas. Yes. Okay. Getting ready. I'm going close to the section where her hair is. Doing the contours with a micro brush. Again with the micro brush, I'm just going around the contours of the lotus flower and a finger that is holding the flower. Contouring the flower petals. Okay, and also remember I adjusted the hip line a bit here. So I'm gonna fill that in nicely. So this side of the contour seems to have been finalized now, except for the lotus flowers petal contours. Okay. Doing the same thing on the opposite side as well. So I am using the micro brush to go around. I'm just going around the contours of this crown that we created also. Because it is also a challenging area. No? Do that like this. We'll do the detailing of the contours, of the crown after we are done with this. Huh? Hmm. Okay, here we go. We are coming close to the hand here, holding the lotus flower. It's good that we'll be done with this contouring also when it dries, then it gives us the opportunity to work on the peacock feather. That's a lot to work on that. We could do that in the next layer when this background is completely dry and ready. Mhm. We also have olive green here. We don't want it to be picked up by our brush. So just playing it safe in this area. Okay. Cool, I guess. I'm kind of done with the contours now. I can focus on the real sections in between and also, on the sides. Huh? Remembering to move this brush in the direction of circle. There's one more small little contour I had missed. Right along the hip line here. Mm. Done. Okay, I'm ready to work on the other sections. I want to see if I could hide a little better about this shape here. We can take a little more color if we want also. Let's get the ones closer to her and also to all the elements done so they all look uniform. Right. You see the difference there. Moving this along. So it is easier for me to work on, and I think you can also see that. So this is a bit more on contour adjustments and also, changing the color tonality of the halo. Once we are done with that, we will do the crown a little bit more to do justice to the crown also. I think it fits perfectly in and it doesn't look too big now. I think it was too much when I did the first crown patterns. I must tell you that, uh, when I was filling in those spaces for the crown, I wasn't thinking of any reference images then. So what I had in mind was just, put a spacing for the crown, put a spacing for the bangles and every, parts of jewelry. So that's what I had done. And now that with referencing we are seeing and with all this characterization developing, then you see the need to remove some of the ideas. So by now, I think you would have seen if I asked you to just watch this first to be sure on what you want to do and what kind of adjustments you could make with jewelry and changes you could make with this. You would have by now seen the possibilities. So you can choose any type of jewelry image from the options that I've given or all by yourself when you search. And yeah, when you do it, just look at the point of view, the perspective that it should justify her image, what you have created, and it should not be that the jewelry becomes the main attraction. Because in when you look at jewelry images, even for the one the Middle Eastern girl that is there in the reference that I have, they are trying to sell a product and it's trying to sell um, the jewelry. So that's why the jewelry is the focus line in that picture. That's fairly good. That is right. But for us, we are working on an image that is of a goddess of knowledge. So the jewelry and all other elements should complement her as much as possible and not deviate the thought process. So keep that in mind and work towards it. Nearly there with the finish of this. Hello. Do remember to share your pictures, the images, what you are trying to do. Share with me at support@glaystudio.dk. Also, remember that you can reach out to me if you need any help understanding how to do things, or if you're worried that what you have chosen as references and or what kind of things you're working on, you are way off the line, off the grid line of achieving it. um, you can reach out to me and I will try to set up a call for you to go through that lesson together and see if I could help you in some way in your growth. That's when I also get to learn a little more from you. So so please do feel free to reach out to me. Yes, I think I have managed to hit the circle right to a greater extent, and it will show if it is still incomplete in some way. Sometimes because of the yellow that we chose, it could be that we need another coat or something. Let's see how far it goes in our layer 5. Just removing some excess um, paint sitting on the canvas. In some sections it's disturbing. Guess this is fine now. So we have managed to complete this, and right now we can now work on the um, crown. For the crown, I wanted the burnt umber to go as uh, center of the circle and also as the sun's beam going up in all directions. The circle and the sun's beam. Take off the excess in my brush and go for the color again to do the sunbeams. Yes, this kind of makes more sense now. Okay, guess we have it. And then when we work on some more details in the upcoming layer, we'll be able to, fix that. So that's about it. We are actually done with the layer 4, but this is also a time when I do another thing. That is to have my um, hand impression or thumb impression as first layer of my signature in the canvas. That's also something I do to end my layer 4. That is in the uh, left top bottom portion of the canvas. So I'm going to dip my hand in, I choose a blue color here. Not the hand, the left hand thumb impression. So it's the left thumb that is getting the oil paint. I wash my hand properly, definitely. This is a part of my signature. So I put this in the left bottom corner here. There we go. Done. So we will let this dry and let this sit, and then when it is ready, then I will use my brush to write the letter G of my first name, Gomati, on that thumb impression, and that's how I start my signature. That's a part of how I do things here. And barring that, we are technically complete with the layer 4 of Vidya Lakshmi painting. Congratulations on that. And that's how she is looking. And we will meet up in the next class, which will start the layer 5 of this image. While we are getting ready for this layer 5, I'll suggest that you give it a break and give this a rest so that you can look for any other changes that you want to make or improvements that you want to make, and work on it, and also let this color sit, and then you'll know all the things that you want to do, and then you're able to do a very fine uh, nuance in the layer 5 and finish this painting successfully. Yep. Until that, stay blessed, stay focused, stay happy, stay healthy, stay motivated, stay curious. Let's meet up again in the next class. Bye bye.